All right. Good afternoon, everybody. Hope everyone's having a good day. Happy Wednesday afternoon. We're going to let people log in here. Good to see everybody. Good to see everybody. My name is Peter Vekselman. Those of you who may not know me, I'm glad you're here. We're going to have a good time here today. I got a very specific thing that I want to handle. I want to teach you today one of the things that's a must-have if you're going to be a successful investor. That's what we're going to be talking about today. It doesn't matter what kind of technique, what kind of strategy you're utilizing. Doesn't matter what you're doing. Doesn't matter what you're not doing. There's one thing that every single real estate investor needs to have, and that is what we're going to be talking about today. That's what I'm going to be teaching you today. So I'm excited to be doing that. I'm glad you guys are here. We're going to get started here in just a minute or two. Happy Wednesday. Happy Wednesday. One thing I love doing, everyone look at the bottom, look at the chat. Tell me where you're dialing in from. One of the things I don't know if I pride myself in, but I do get excited about. I do deals all over the United States. That's kind of my claim to fame, partnering with people, doing deals all over the place. So I always like to know where you're dialing in from. Boise, I like it. I like it. I don't think I've ever done a deal in Boise. So let me know what you guys are from. Atlanta, I love it. I'm in Atlanta right now. That's one of my home spots. Missouri, what's going on? Bill? Dawsonville, Georgia. What's up, Shanae? Atlanta. I don't know if you know, but I am in Atlanta also. Michael, good to see you in Atlanta. Bill, Mo, that's Missouri, right? I like it. What part of Missouri? I got a bunch of deals I'm doing in Missouri right now. So more Atlanta, Miami, Florida. One of favorite places for my wife to travel. We go there at least 10 to 12 times. So sometimes it seems more than that a year. New Orleans. We got a deal going on in New Orleans right now. Vegas, hot market. Actually looking at some little bit out of the norm deals in Vegas right now. A little bit outside my model. I'm looking at some new construction. I'm not a big believer right now in new construction, but a good friend of mine is kind of getting me tempted into some of that. Dallas, Texas. I love it. Got a lot of good infrastructure in Texas. So good to see you guys. My name is Peter Vekselman. For those of you that may not know me, we're going to be starting here. Give it about less than a minute. Get everything lined up. Get everything set up. And like I said, I'm going to teach you some stuff today. My goal is I think no matter how good something that you teach is, you could also spend too much time on one of these calls. I know sometimes I just like, oh my God, when is that going to come to an end? I don't know if you've ever been there, done that. So I don't like to do that. So we're going to get very serious. And then I'm going to stay on and I'm going to answer whatever questions you guys may have. We'll talk about some real estate stuff and all that. Let me get this turned on. Boom, boom, boom. Let's rock and roll. Again, welcome. My name is Peter Vekselman. For those of you that may not know me or know my history, I've been a real estate investor for over 23 years, going on about 25 years now. In that time frame, I've done probably about 3,600 deals right now. What people tend to know me for is two things. One, I do what I teach not to do, okay? I invest all over the United States. If you ever hear me teach or if you ever see me on social media and all that, by the way, Kristen, throw my IG link into chat for those of you that want to follow me on social media. I do a lot of work on there. But I always teach, do not invest across United States. I always teach people don't even invest in places where you can't drive to. But I do that. I do exactly that. But I got, 25 some years in this business. I got a lot of history behind me. By the way, I've lost a lot of money doing it, but I think I've perfected it. So that's my one claim to fame. By the way, if you guys don't mind, and by the way, Andrew, thank you for doing that. Raul, thank you for doing this. Greg, thank you. Albert, thank you. Mr. McGuire, thank you. India, thank you. Mr. Carlos, thank you. Shanae, thank you. Turn on your cameras, guys. Let's have some fun. I promise you, I'm not going to hold you here long. Miss Norris, thank you. Turn on your cameras. It just makes it so much easier for me to chat and talk to you guys. I promise you, I got some good stuff. What's up, Josh? Got some great stuff for you guys today. So that's my first claim to fame, is I do things across the United States. I've invested, and I currently invest in all 50 states. My second kind of unusual thing, you could say, what's up, Nina, somewhat claim to fame, is all of my deals have partners. I partner with people in across the United States. I need partners because I need basically local boots on the ground to help me do deals. Make a long story short. I need help in all various cities for people to help me find deals. And for my partners that, what's up, Mr. Swins? Good to see you. But for people that will help me find deals in their marketplaces, I'll coach them, I'll train them, I'll actually spend my own money helping you with leads. I have a back office team that'll close all of our deals, do inspections, appraisals. I'll provide 100% of the money. So if you're partnering with me, you don't have to worry about putting any money up for deals. What's up, Wes? I got a construction team that could be deployed literally across the United States to help us fix these properties, and then we sell them and we do a profit share. So for those of you that are interested in potentially working with me and partnering with me, I promise you, if you stay till the end today, I'm going to share with you how we could partner on some real estate deals. So that'll be like your prize. You'll tap into an endless money supply, endless marketing chain, and we'll do that. Again, my name is Peter Vekselman, been at it for about 23, 24 years now, about 3,600 deals completed, do deals all over the United States. And what I want to share with you guys, so I got some history. I don't say this like in a show-offish way. I tell you this from an experience perspective. I'm not a new kid in the block. I've been on all sides of the real estate business, been on the very bad side where I pretty much made myself homeless. And I've been on some extremely good sides where I tend to be right now. So I've ridden up markets, I've ridden down markets. So if nothing else, I feel like I have the credibility to teach. But what I want to talk to you guys about today is something that every one of you, needs to be doing. I guarantee you, majority of you, if not all of you, are not doing what I'm going to teach you. And C, for those of you that are doing what I'm about ready to teach you, I could tell you, if you are doing it, you're not doing enough of it, okay? And if somebody were to pinpoint, like if somebody were to ask me, Pete, what are some keys to your success, right? What are some things that got you up the food chain? You know, what are the things that got you to the levels that you've gotten to? I would tell you the thing that I'm going to teach you today is one of those things. Like as a matter of fact, I will tell you this. If you don't do what I'm going to teach you today here in the next couple of minutes, you will absolutely stunt your growth. And some of you, by not doing what I'm going to teach you today, some of you will literally not become successful as a result of it. It is that big. It is that powerful. It is that important. And that is this: developing a very good, a very solid investor database. All right. Some of you guys refer to this as cash buyers databases. And I know some of you guys are sitting here and you're thinking, well, I don't need a cash database, cash buyers database. Well, Pete, I heard cash buyers database is only for wholesaling strategy. I don't even do wholesaling strategy. So some of you might not even know what a cash buyers database is. But I could tell you, as I look back at my career, there's probably nothing more important than a cash buyers database. No matter how much money you have or you don't have, no matter what geography you're in, no matter what technique or strategy you're doing it, and no matter what level of experience you have, it is absolutely positively critical to have. So let me first of all explain to you, let's talk about specifically this whole concept of a cash database and why it's important. A cash database is really literally, to a certain degree, nothing more than your ability and willingness to have investors, other investors that you know that you can connect with, okay? Let me tell you how I've utilized my cash buyers database all the way through my career. Like, one of the things I've done in this business is I've lent money. I've become a private lender somewhere along the way. I've raised a bunch of capital for my own deals. I wanted to learn about things. There were deals that I wanted to partner on when I was many years ago, when I was just, kind of getting started, and I wanted partners on my side. There was knowledge I needed to have. Pretty much everything I tell you right now, all these things I threw out to you, all of them came from a result of me having a very strong cash database. So let me give you some examples. So when I got started, I didn't have enough money to do, and didn't have enough credentials, didn't have enough credit to do my own deals. What I would do is I would put a deal together, right? And then I would just go to my cash database and I would send an email out. And the email would say something like this: hey, I got a deal. I got a house on 123 Main Street. I'm looking for a partner. I got the house. I'm willing to do the legwork. I'm willing to oversee the project. I don't have money. I don't have this, and this. And I would just send this email out, and religiously within 5, 10, 20, 30 minutes, people would email me back and say, hey, Pete, I'd love to partner with you. When about 15 years ago, I started raising capital to become a private hard money lender, I sent an email to my cash database and I said, listen, I'm looking to raise X amount of money. Is anybody interested in basically lending me out that I could then lend out to other people? It was interesting. Off that one email, I got in contact with one gentleman. I ultimately got in contact with multiple people, but I got in contact with one gentleman who invited me to his country club. And that day at his country club, he literally walked his bunch of his friends through that country club. And in that one day, I raised almost $10 million to become my own private money lender. How did that happen? By having an investor database that I could approach with an opportunity. I remember many years ago, I decided to get into land deals, basically where I was going to buy parcels of land in Atlanta market, and I was going to rezone them, and then I would start piecemealing them off and selling them off to builders. And I just put that together in an email, and I send the email out, and one of the people that responded back to my email said, listen, it all sounds well and good, but what you don't realize is to make what you want work, who's going to do this rezoning from you, right? Who's going to take this through the communities? Who's going to get this approved at the city level? Well, it turns out the gentleman that was on my cash database that answered that email was an ex-commissioner of one of the counties. Well, guess what ex-commissioners tend to be? Number one, they all tend to be attorneys. And number two, they all tend to be very networked at every single level, the city level, the county level, and the neighborhood level. So when I did my very first deal, I hired this attorney that came off that email. And literally with very little work on my part, he got that piece of property rezoned that I ultimately ended up selling off to a fairly large builder. How did that happen? That happened because I had a very extensive database of investors that I could go to. Interestingly enough, even my partner model, right now, all the deals I do are with partners across the United States, right? You heard me say that. Interestingly enough, initially, what I used to do, now check this out. Again, I'm building the value of why everybody needs this access to investors. And then in a minute here, I'm going to teach you how to develop an endless supply of this database. And then you guys will realize pretty much anything you need could be gotten from this database. But what I used to do, I used to have this thing. I still do it. I just don't do it off my database because I'm, networked enough. But back then, networked enough, not at the database level, but at a personal level. But back then, I used to have this thing that I would have once a month. I would try to meet with somebody extremely successful in the real estate business, and there was never an agenda. It was more or less, hey, come on, hang out with me. Let's just talk. and let's see if we come up with something. So I send an email to everybody I know in this business, to my cash database, and I tell them that, hey, if you want to hang out for a day with me, I got a boat on the lake. Let's jump on my boat. Yeah, let's just talk business. And I remember these two guys answered that email. They were out of North Carolina. They couldn't even remember how they got on my email list. They answered this email. They're like, hey, we got some things going on, pretty unusual. I told them about some things I was doing back then, and they came over. We went up the road here to Lake Lanier, jumped in a boat of mine, and we were just talking. And though during that day, two impactful things I learned. Number one, I learned how to structure and how to work with real estate agents across city and county and state lines. That was pretty big, because back then I was already venturing into real estate deals outside my own marketplace. So they taught me how to take one realtor and have that one realtor connect me across state lines and start leveraging realtor relationships. Right now, you may be hearing me and you're like, well, I don't even know what that means. That was big for me back then. The second thing they taught me that day is they kind of started telling me about a model they were running that was tied into doing deals with other people. Now, this is a boat trip I took about 11, 12 years ago. So you guys know that was initially the inception of my partnering model today, where I've done thousands of deals since then. But just that one day in a boat with these couple guys taught me the power of how I could leverage realtor relationships. And they also taught me how to potentially start doing some deals with some key people that now, 12 years down the road, is how I do all of my real estate business. I'll tell you another thing that happened to me as a result of my email list and my database. I used to try to figure out how to spread the word about what I do, right? And so I would literally start emailing my database, and there were some unique things I was doing in real estate, and I literally told the database, hey, listen, I'm doing some pretty cool things. I think these are the kind of things other people would be interested in. I have no idea how to spread the word, because I literally had no idea how to spread the word. And somebody emailed me back and they said, have you ever tried going on a podcast and talking about what you do? And back then I didn't even know what a podcast was, right? This was a long time ago. And that one email with that one connection to a podcast got me booked on podcasts, got me moving in that direction. And interestingly enough, again, I partner with people now and I do deals. Do you guys know my very first partner that I've ever done a real deal came as a result of him hearing me on a podcast, thinking, wow, partnering makes sense to me. He was in California back then. He flew to Atlanta. We met. And he was my very first partner I ever did a deal with. Do you guys know his name is Seth? Do you guys know he's still around? He and I just talked via text. And we've done since then 150 deals together where we partner on them. Now, only thing I've been trying to do here for a couple of minutes is build the value of why every single person here needs to have their own personal email database, and why everybody needs to have a cash buyers list. And if you notice, the one thing I did not say is I use my cash buyer database the way most of you guys think it needs to be used, and that is to wholesale deals too, right? Let's face it, so many of you guys do not have a cash database because you just think it's just designed to wholesale deals. Or you may be wholesaling deals and you may say, Pete, I got all my buyers, and I just gave you just a couple highlights that in my own personal career came as a result of a cash database. And I will tell you this before I now start telling you how to build out a cash database. As a result of my cash database, I've also wholesaled thousands and thousands of real estate deals. Do I use it still traditionally the way everybody else uses it? Yeah, absolutely. Our cash database has been responsible for making us millions and millions and millions and millions of dollars in assignment fees on our wholesale deals. But that is just one reason that I personally needed a cash database. So my contention to all of you here today is very simple. Every one of you, the reason you're not where you want to be, and I assume there's not a single person on here today that's where they want to be. Some of you guys are not where you want to be. You can't even get your first deal done. Some of you guys are not where you want to be because you consistently do a couple deals a year and you're trying to figure out, how do I double that? Some of you guys are now where you want to be because you're just stuck somewhere part of this business. And I'm here to tell you, almost across the board, how to level up and how to get into next levels in this business is you absolutely need to have this cash database. Because one of the biggest things that'll allow you to do and that'll get you to do is it'll get you to those next levels in this business. I could tell you my investor relationships, my cash database has been responsible for making me more money than any other tool. I got all the tools, I got all the frills, I got everything that there is to be had. But if somebody said, all right, Pete, you got to start at zero again. You got to start at zero. You could either take one tool or you could take no tools. What's the one tool you would take, or what's the one tool you would rebuild? If I had to start all over again, the very first tool I would build in this business is an incredible cash database. I'll give you one more example before I start teaching you how to build your own investor database, or basically how to build your own bank. When I started many years ago, for those of you that don't know my story, I started out by going the wrong way. I lost about $500,000 first 6 months in this business. I then went over that, another $250,000 of credit card debt, was pretty much destitute, out and out. And my first mentor back then started teaching me the importance of a cash database. I told him, listen, I'm not even doing wholesale deals. I want to do some more fix and flips. He said, it don't matter. Anyway, he spent some time convincing me the importance of it. Matter of fact, he finally got it through my thick head how important it is. And there was a 6-month run. Now, check this out. Remember, I was at the very bottom of this business. I had lost everything. Nothing was working. I had no reason to even continue being in this business. But I took his advice. He said, if you build and develop a robust cash database, you'll never look back. And guys, believe it or not, for about 5 to 6 months, I shut down my whole business. I stopped looking for deals. I got out of the revenue side, which back then, you could argue was not a smart move, because like when you have nothing, the first thing you need is money. When you have no money, you need money, right? I stopped going after money in this business for about 5 or 6 months. I spent all my time, morning, noon, night, afternoons, evenings, developing investor relationships for about 5 to 6 months. And I could point to those several months back then was the absolute catalyst from being $750,000 in debt at this time to making my first $1 million in this business. My cash database is no question the ultimate shortcut in this business. And for those of you that don't have a cash database, I'm going to teach you how to build it. For those of you that don't have a big enough cash database, which by the way is all of you that have one, we're going to talk a little bit how you could beef it up. And for those of you that don't think you need one, I'm going to show you how to do it, because you do 100% need one, okay? So how do you develop? There's a couple steps in developing these investor relationships and in developing these, what I call cash database. One is you develop a raw one. 2, you build a relationship with it to extract all the quality out of there. And 3, you utilize those relationships to grow your business. That's how you build this business. You build a cash database, you qualify it to see where the right opportunities are. And then on the back end, you tap into those, you will start aligning yourself with those right opportunities, with those right people, and that's how you start growing. So step one, you got to build a raw database. And when it comes to building a raw database, I always tell people you really need two things. You need a name and a number. That's it. That's how you build a raw database of cash buyers, of investor relationships. You need a name, someone's name, and you need someone's telephone number. Once you have those two things, you could consider yourself on your way to building your investor database. Because remember, ultimately, we're going to qualify it, right? Ultimately, we're going to qualify it, okay? And so here's what we're going to do. Here's what we're going to do in order to build it out and in order to develop it. The first technique and strategy for building out an investor database, for building out a cash database is this. By the way, this first technique and strategy potentially could be your only technique and strategy that you need. Because if you mastered this first one, right? If you mastered this first one, you could build an endless supply and endless size of your personal cash database. And that's called the internet search engines, right? Remember, we're just developing names and numbers, step one. So all you do is, number one, you sit down with a piece of paper, right? You sit down with a piece of paper and you come up with as many terms as possible that either A, have anything to do with real estate investing or real estate investors. So I always tell people to come up with about 30 to 40 terms like that. So these are terms like find real estate investors, invest in real estate, we buy houses, real estate cash buyers, invest in REOs, buy investment properties, invest in real estate. You see what I'm doing? I'm just messing with these terms. But you want to come up with about 30 to 40 to 50 of these terms or phrases that have anything to do with real estate investing. Okay? Next step, you're going to go to the Google search engine and you're going to literally take these terms and you're going to Google every single one of these terms. So you're going to say something like, find real estate investors, invest in real estate, we buy houses, real estate cash buyers, invest in REOs, buy apartment buildings. Now, what I always tell people to do is first you want to start out with local relationships. Okay, you want to start out with local relationships. How do you get Google to give you local stuff? On the end of every term, you're going to put the name of the city that you live in. So for me, I live in Atlanta. So it'd be like find real estate investors, Atlanta, Georgia. We buy houses, Atlanta, Georgia. Invest in real estate, Atlanta, Georgia. Okay. You're going to, and when you do that, Google is going to specifically give you things that are close to Atlanta. Now, when you Google like find real estate investors, Atlanta, Georgia, invest in real estate, Atlanta, Georgia, we buy houses, Atlanta, Georgia, what that's going to do is they're going to start giving you results. Obviously, without me telling you, not every result is going to be an investor. Some are going to be real estate agents. Some are going to be appraisers. Some are going to be closing attorneys. You want it to the best of your ability, exclude for now any of those. And the only ones that you want to add to your list are what appear to be either investors or investment companies. Like LLC is good, S Corps is good, because let's face it, almost everybody incorporates now, right? Now, remember, you're putting their name and number down. Now, here's how you really blow this up and grow this. When you do that search, all you do is you go to Google to the bottom of that first page, and you're going to see at the bottom, Google is going to give you 7 or 8 other terms that are different but similar that you could search. So you see how this gets crazy? So you're going to do find real estate investors, Atlanta, Georgia. You're going to go to the bottom you're going to pick off off the first how many ever pages, you're going to go back to the bottom of the pages, and you're going to see Google's going to give you a bunch of more. Google's going to give you a bunch of more things to search. So now you take Google's things and you start searching. Remember, you got about 30, 40, 50 of yourself to start with. For every one of those, Google's going to give you another 6 or 7. So now you're going to start getting a bunch of stuff. You're going to just grow, grow, grow. And when you stop is when you realize no matter what you search for, hey guys, for those of you that are listening to me, remember this guy, Seth, I just talked to you about, my very first partner, how this came off my investor database. What a perfect time to teach you this how the importance of it, right? Seth just moved out of California to Tennessee, right? Check this out. He just texted me this. He just moved to Tennessee. He just went to his first appointment, locked it up for 280. ARV is 360 to 370. And we're still sticking with our California deals, and California also just got 2 deals today. This relationship started as a result of what I'm teaching you. I'm just writing the word Studley with explanation points. You see the importance of this database? This relationship started off my database 4 years ago, 150 deals deep. We're still partnering, doing deals. He just locked another one up to a brand new state. He moved to Tennessee, and we kept our California operation going, and 2 deals came as a result of California. This is what I'm teaching you how to do, guys. All right, so when do you stop? When do you stop utilizing Google? Is when you've exhausted everything, and no matter what you search for, it keeps on giving you the same thing. Now, watch this. Here's how you expand that part. Remember, you were putting the city you live in. Like I was utilizing all of that, and I was putting Atlanta, Georgia. Guess what? I'm going to redo everything I just told you about. But this time, instead of putting Atlanta, Georgia, I'm going to put a city nearby. So for me, I may use Fayetteville, Georgia, Cumming, Georgia, Alpharetta, Georgia. You guys are going to see when you're doing these searches, just by changing the search term, just by centering Google in a different geographical areas, you're going to start getting different results, right? You're going to start getting different results. And I'm going to do that till I exhaust all the cities around me. You see how this gets crazy, and by this time you should have hundreds potentially already. Then I'm going to make one more swerve and change. I'm going to get out of Google. I'm going to go to different search engines like MSN, AOL, Yahoo, Bing. And you guys are going to also realize that different search engines also give you different results. So that's how you're going to use the internet. By the way, all of these ways I'm telling you to build this database out, they all change, meaning they give you different results. So this exercise I just told you on the internet needs to be done once a month. And you guys are going to literally see that every month there's going to be some new things that start appearing, and the old ones that disappear, you're not going to worry about those, right? So every month you're going to pop back on. Every month you're going to pop back on. You're going to go through the exact same exercise. You're going to get different results. Next one. Social networking websites. Like, write these down: biggerpockets.com, reiclub.com, facebook.com, Instagram, all of those. Here's how you utilize these networks, these social websites, because they literally warehouse exactly what we're looking for in terms of investor relationships, right? Like, for instance, if you're going to biggerpockets.com or reiclub.com, okay, biggerpockets.com or rei.com, you're going to go into their forums section, right? You're going to go to their forums section. And you're going to see they have hundreds and hundreds and probably thousands of different threads. Like somebody may say, how do you do a wholesale deal in their wholesaling forum section? And you're going to see 1, 2, 3, 20, 30, sometimes 200 answers right below there. Those are almost always investors helping other investors. So all you're going to do is you're going to get involved in these forums and you're going to start interacting. And just like if you've ever been involved in any kind of forum, you're going to realize fairly quickly you're going to build some relationships through these forums. And some people are going to be like, wow, these are some great answers. I love your answers. And you're going to shoot them back a DM. Hey, tell me a little bit about what you're doing. And you're going to be able to pull them off of there and add them to your investor database. Biggerpockets.com, reiclub.com. That's how you're going to use those. Facebook.com and LinkedIn.com. Facebook.com and LinkedIn.com are two very, very powerful websites to build us investor database. So when you go to Facebook.com, just in the search bar, type in real estate investing groups, or type in, real estate investors, Atlanta, Georgia. And you're going to see there's some powerhouse groups out there. There's some groups that have like 20, 30, 50, 100,000 members. Remember, you're not in there to try to gouge or to try to attack people or try to feel like you're soliciting. The key is just be chill pill. Just talk to people. Ask questions, answer questions, become part of the community. And just like any community that you're part of, right? Just like any community you're a part of, you are going to, just like any community you're part of, you're going to see that there are a very easy way to pull people off of them and start building relationships and just add them to your investor database. LinkedIn.com has some database, has some groups, over 100,000 members. Think about how many relationships can you build off groups like that? Here's another source to develop this. Another source to develop this is bandit signs. All of us drive around the cities we're in, right? Right? All of us drive around the cities we're in. Be cognizant of the bandit signs. These are the signs that we all see, like we buy houses. Okay? Invest in real estate. That's my office, Mary. She's the closer. She just texted me. Just got 3 more deals from Seth. That's what I was just telling you about. That's how we do deals. By the way, for those of you interested, do I really do deals with people across the United States? Here's Paige. I'm old school when it comes to record keeping. These are all the deals I and my team are doing with people across the United States. So bandit signs. Bandit signs are incredible. Incredible ways to pick off investors. They're almost all investors. Like I said, when you're driving around on exits and stuff like that, we buy houses, invest in real estate, cash for your house, close quickly. I buy houses, any shape, any condition. Those are all incredible opportunities to get deals. I mean, to build out your investor database. Networking events like REIA clubs, right? We all know REIA clubs, right? REI clubs, real estate investment clubs. For those of you that don't know what they are, every city in the United States, so all of you, wherever city you live in, has at least one, usually more than one of these clubs available. All you got to do is just Google real estate investment clubs, real estate investment associations. And they usually have meetings, either online meetings where they have in-person meetings like once a month. By the way, I have a meetup in Atlanta. Is anybody in Atlanta? Raise your hand if you're in Atlanta, you like to come to one of my meetups. All right, Kristen, can you drop a link to register for third Tuesday of every month? I get together, we just do a meetup, no agenda, we just talk real estate. Kristen, if you don't mind, drop in a chat a link to our registration page for our meetups. So for those of you that want to hang out with me once a month in Atlanta, or you could drive into Atlanta once a month, third Tuesday of the month, Kristen is going to drop a link. Are you on here, Kristen?
Yeah, I'm grabbing it.
She's grabbing it. Just register. We just want to know you're coming. There's no charge. Third Tuesday of every month. Come on, see me. So meetups like this and reiclub.com, these are all very powerful. Anyway, I've just given you some sources. There's more sources. I don't want to spend too much time giving you sources. But with these sources, you could develop hundreds and hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of people deep. Step number 2, developing these relationships, you want to qualify them. So the way I did it is I did just the old email. When people got on my list, I would tell them, I would talk to them, I would share with them, hey, listen, I'm going to be emailing you stuff, be looking out for my stuff. And I started having conversations with these people. And so when I was doing a lot of wholesaling, every time I did a deal, I just put together a little flyer, boom, send it out to my list. Got buyers that way. But the key is when my list started getting any kind of volume, before sending them emails, I always called. Okay, I always called. And my question, how I built my relationship with these investors, I always say, how can I, Peter Vekselman, help you grow your business? Too many people lead with the wrong question, like, what can you, Mr. Investor, do for me? Or what do you do? I always said, hey, how can I help you? How can I help you build your business? And that one question I think has made me a ton of money. By asking them how I could help them build their business, what am I really asking them? What are they doing? And when I learned what they did, that told me what opportunity was for me. If they're like, hey, I'm a big buyer in the Atlanta market, boom, I knew that was a buyer for my wholesale deals, right? If they said, hey, I'm a corporate guy and I got a 401k or an IRA with $3 million and I like to invest in it in real estate, boom, I knew right away who I went to. So first you build a raw database and then you use that databases, build relationships. You call them when you talk to them or you meet them for coffee. Like I said, for 5 or 6 months when I initially started building out my database, that's literally all I did. I met with people. I had coffee with them. I had drinks with them. I hung out with them. And I slowly started building an incredible relationships. That when I started, I told you everything I am today, everything I've done have come as a result of my investor database and then building out a relationship with that database. And then anytime I needed something, there came a point in time I know, like right now, I don't no longer necessarily need to send an email to my database. Why? Because I know hundreds of people in that database. And so if I'm raising capital, I just call and I know who my money guys are. If I want to do something with a deal, I call specifically, or somebody from my office calls specifically, and we know who the deal guys are. If there's a question I have about a technique or a strategy, I just call. So how do you become a successful real estate investor, guys? This sounds crazy easy, but this is how you do it. You build a raw database of potential real estate investors. Remember, when you're building it raw, you don't know if there's anyone savvy, how savvy that person is, how unsavvy that person is. You don't know anything about it. And then you start investing your time every day, half hour, 20 minutes, an hour, 2 hours, into actually calling through that investor database. And you start by saying, hey, I got your name off LinkedIn. Remember, we were talking back and forth. I'm an investor too. I got a weird question. What can I do to help you grow your business? Because I know if I could help you grow your business, that'll probably help me somehow. And then all thing you know, they start opening up. Tell me what you do in your business. Well, I do this. This is how I handle things. This is what I do. And guys, I told you one of my most powerful ways I've become who I am today. 3,600 deals deep. That's not bad for a guy 25 years ago who lost everything as a result of real estate. Because I could tell you, real estate done the wrong way is an awful business to be in. It'll take you for everything you have quick. You won't even know what hit you. And some of you guys know exactly what I'm talking about. But on the other side of the equation, real estate done the right way will blow every one of your guys' minds. None of you are at the levels where you have really probably fully understand the impact of this business. And what I showed you today, raw database, relationship with the database, and then going to that database for anything you need is one of the key components of why I am where I am today. Every technique, every strategy, all my know-hows, most of the techniques, pretty much everything across the board is coming as a result of this incredible database that I have developed. Started developing over 20 years ago, and to this day still add people to it, even though I have all the contacts I could probably ever need. Still chasing new ones. Just yesterday, I was at a coffee shop. For those of you that know Atlanta, I was in Bucket at a Dancing Goat. That's a coffee shop. It's a great coffee shop. And I met a set of realtors there that can give me exposure in that world. And I met one of my own realtors there who sold over 100 deals for me in Atlanta. I'm still building that relationship. Ivan, my local guy, brought a guy that has access to over 10,000 other realtors across the United States. What you see, my relationship with Ivan led me to that's now a relationship with Dan. And who knows where that'll take me. Building cash buyers lists, building investor database is a time worthy of spending. And this is an incredible thing that every one of you is not doing enough of. And across the board, none of you had to understand the power of this. It's absolutely positively huge. Absolutely positively huge. All right, what I'm going to do now is I'm going to stay on to answer questions, but I want to leave you with two things. Number one, a lot of you guys are on this call because of Need to Sell My House Fast. Need to Sell My House Fast is just basically a lead source. I fully endorse it. It's the top lead source that I have where I get majority of my motivated seller leads. So I'm going to do something I've never done before. For those of you that are interested in you need two things to utilize this company. Number one, you got to spend money. These are not leads you generate yourself. These are leads somebody else generates for you. And they qualify them ahead of time. And this is my number one top lead source. Seth, going back to Seth, kind of been the journey here for the last hour with Seth, my partner. He and I just talked last week. The last $14,000, we spent $14,000 with them. And out of the last $14,000 we spent with them over a couple months, popped us 3 deals. So for those of you, but you need money. So it's not for everybody, I get it. But for those of you that are interested in getting connected with a lead source, I say you want to spend minimum of $2,000 a month, at least 3 to 4 months. So this is for somebody that if you have marketing budget, 5 to 10K, usually you're willing to utilize it over the next 3 to 4 months. I endorse these guys. I'm going to do something I've never done before. For those of you that are interested, I got the hookup to the owner. Text me directly. Kristen, throw my number into chat. So for those of you that are interested, but you got to have money. Don't text me if you have no money. Again, I'm just telling you how I get a bunch of my leads. But my personal cell phone here, I'll text it. I'll put it in there. Peter, just text me. Here's my number, 404-915-9685, 404. And give me your, when you text me, I'll just hook you up with them. I just endorse them. I tell people about all the good stuff I'm involved in. And just put the word leads in your text so I know what you're texting about. Give me your name and put the leads. I endorse them. The second thing is for those of you that want to do some real estate deals with me, that's what I do. My model is I partner with people all across the United States. I provide all the money on deals. I provide a construction team if we need it. I provide the knowledge and the know-how of how to put them together. After 3,600 deals, I know how to do it. I could level you up. I provide my whole back office team to make sure they get closed, coordinate buyers, sellers, closing attorneys, make sure the titles are clean. I provide it all. But I do need help finding deals in your marketplace. And by the way, we'll also teach you how to do that. We got nine marketing strategies that work like that. So for those of you that want to learn how to partner with me and do deals right in your own marketplace, Kristen is going to drop a link into chat right now, and it's just to schedule a call. Go ahead and schedule a call with myself and my team, and we'll just see if you're good. If you on that call, we're going to see if you're who I'm looking for and if what we do makes sense for you. Simple as that. But right now, the market's hotter than I've seen in 25 years. We're doing so many deals I can't. If you're not doing deals right now, you shouldn't be like just floundering around real estate. That you're wasting your time. I promise you. So if you don't know how to do deals, or if you're not doing deals, or if you're not doing as many deals as you want, you need to partner with me. I'll show you how to do it at a high level. So there's a schedule a call link inside the text right now, and your text is at the bottom. All you got to do is just hit that link and schedule a call with myself and my team, and we'll just see if we're a good fit for each other. If we are, we're going to rock and roll and we'll do some deals. Okay. Who's got questions? If you have any real estate related questions about what we talked about, questions about partnering with me, questions about things you're doing, any questions? And if you got a question, all you got to do is you go to the bottom of the screen where it says reactions, hit that, and on the left-hand side, there's a way to raise your hand, or if you want to just speak up, I'm easy. Any questions from me about anything or anyone? I'm actually heading downstairs, so I'm going to be walking. Albert, I'll get you here in a second. I'm walking.
No worries.
And talking because I got a closing, and so notaries come to my house to get closings. So I know he'll be here in a couple minutes. All right, Albert, talk to me. What you got?
Yeah, did you cover deal splits, or is that private, what you do in the private meeting?
Oh, how I split my profits? We usually do a 60-40 split.
Okay, so you provide all the funding.
I provide all the money.
Everything.
I provide a construction outfit. I provide a back office. I provide all the the ways you need to go out there and find deals in your market. My team will teach you that. I'll even coach you personally on how to do this.
Sure.
All you do is you got to be willing to be. You got to be a hustler, and you got to want to make a lot of money. No whiners. I don't want whiners. I don't want excuse makers. I don't want people that we got to talk into this. But yeah, and I provide all the money. That's how confident.
Yeah, you won't worry about
what
that.
I do.
Yeah, no, I understand. I've been at this for 25 years and then looking to kind of streamline some things, and I'm willing to give up to go up to do more volume. I do a lot of multifamily and apartment type stuff. Do you play with that?
I do single family, but once we do a couple of those deals and get comfortable with each other, I'm open to listening to whatever you got.
Yeah, I've actually got a deal right here. It's an infill development. It's 3 units. I've got the plat approved. I just need the funding for the vertical.
Yeah, we're going to start out with single family fix and flips, and then we're going to grow from there. I like to walk and crawl before we run.
Okay.
But I'm what you're looking for. I'll show you how to scale this thing. I promise you.
Okay, that's fine. I'll set a meeting.
Perfect.
Thanks.
Peter, you're muted.
Sorry. My wife was just giving me pictures of our 2 kids.
Go, come here.
Actually, 5 kids total.
Go.
And the oldest 23, here is Olivia. She's 1 year and 6 months. And here's Elise. She's 4 months. So 23 oldest, 4 months youngest. See what happens when you get into real estate? You get crazy. All right, who else got a question? Either speak up or raise your hand. Anything else, real estate related?
Peter. Hey, Peter, I have a quick question right quick. I see you did a cash.
You're next, Michael, go ahead.
Hey, Peter, how you doing? I'm Mike McGuire. I actually met you at the one we had last week in Cobb County. But my quick question was, since you did a cash buyers seminar, are you open to do a motivated seller seminar as well?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Absolutely. I'll put that on my agenda when we do this. By the way, I and my part and some people I bring on, we do this every week, same time, same place. So make sure that, make sure you save this.
Right, yes, sir, thank you.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Mr. Bob.
Away, so you're fine. You can tell-
Have you ever put together a list of the search terms? It's a brilliant idea. I love it.
Thank you.
Do you have a list that you willing to just share? Or, I mean, I can come up with my own, but I'm thinking you've probably hit on some great search.
I probably ought to. I never have, but that's a good idea. I'll put something together.
Yeah, just an idea.
Yeah.
Thanks.
All right. What other questions do you have? By the way, guys, this is how I do my real estate. Come on in. What's your name? Bernard?
Bernard,
This is Bernard.
how you
Good
doing?
to see you.
Good to see you.
Bernard's here to sign some closing docs, just so you guys know I'm doing deals. He's an attorney and a notary, right?
Yeah, mobile.
Mobile.
Oh, wheels.
Those in Atlanta that are closing deals, you need to be talking to Bernard.
I'm all over this.
This is how I do real estate. People say real estate's tough. Right here, it's as tough as it gets for me.
Yeah, easy.
They show up at my house and we do it. All right, guys, any other questions? And I could talk and say, you know me, I can.
Okay, I know you. Just when you
I got my
decide
idea.
it,
And
that's-
by the way, Pete, I'm on too, guys. So guys, I've been listening in the background. This is Julie. I was just working on something else. So if anybody has any real estate related questions or anything, just let me know. I'll answer them. As Peter goes and tries to make us some money today.
he's doing more than trying.
Yeah, there you hear Bernard, but he's like, he's doing more than trying. This is a done deal at this point. We're signing, we're selling it.
This is it.
Is the HUD in there?
Yeah, it's,
What do we
yeah,
do?
you can look at the numbers.
How much am I getting?
You look on the,
All right. Any other questions? All right, guys. Thank you so much for joining us for today.
I think on this deal, we got 100, what is it?
let's see,
What's the bottom line?
over here.
What does it say?
Let me see, credit, you said 2, but let me see, due to the seller. No, you gotta say that number. It's too big for me.
What is it?
330.
330,000.
330,000.
You want to partner with me? Come on.
It's real.
This is, do you hear him?
This is real. It's a real deal.
And this is a deal that we're selling in Indiana.
Indiana.
Yeah, this is my partner, Ron Rowan. We just did it. We just did a deal made 110,000 about a month ago. And
This
this
is
one get 330,000. And you know, anyway, this is what we do.
So he-
All right, Julie can answer. By the way, Julie is an owner in what we do at REI Connector. She's not just a partner, she's an owner. So go ahead and ask away, guys. This is, you guys got my time, you got Julie's time. Any other real estate questions about partnering, doing deals, anything?
You,
Okay, I think we're all questioned out. All right, guys, listen, truly, I enjoyed it. I love doing this. I really get a kick out of just being with people just like you guys and being able to somehow elevate and help you do deals. Whether we do a deal together or not, I will tell you, you're in the right place at the right time in the right industry. So grab the bull by the horns and go kill it. We'll see you same time, same place. See you guys.